Let's say you're somewhere in your 20s, maybe 24, maybe 27, and you've got this quiet feeling in the back of your mind that you should probably be doing something smarter with your money. But every time you try to figure out what that something is, you end up more confused than when you started. Because the internet gives you two options. Either you're already behind and you'll never catch up, or you just need to follow this one weird trick and you'll be rich by 35. Neither of those feels real. Neither of those actually helps. Here's the truth. Your 20s are not about perfecting your finances. They're about building the foundation that makes everything easier later. And there are 5 specific moves that, if you make them before 30, put you in a completely different position than almost everyone around you. My name is Rabbi. If you're in your 20s and want to stop feeling confused about money, make sure to hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Let's get into it. Move 1. Build a financial floor. Before anything else, before investing, before side hustles, before any of it, you need a buffer. A small emergency fund that sits between you and financial chaos. Here's why this matters more than people think. Without a buffer, every unexpected expense becomes a crisis. Your car breaks down, your laptop dies, a medical bill shows up, and suddenly you're either going into debt or liquidating an investment at the worst possible moment. Research from the Federal Reserve has consistently shown that a significant portion of adults can't cover a basic emergency expense without borrowing. And that one vulnerability, that single gap, undoes every other smart financial move you try to make. The number doesn't have to be perfect. Start with 1 month of essential expenses. Then build toward 3. That buffer alone changes how you make decisions. Because when you're not constantly afraid of the next unexpected bill, your brain stops operating in survival mode. And better decisions follow automatically. Move 2. Understand exactly where your money goes. Most people in their 20s have no real idea where their money actually goes. They have a general sense. Rent is the big one. Food. Subscriptions. But the specific numbers? Vague at best. And here's the problem with vague. You can't improve what you can't see. This doesn't mean building a complicated spreadsheet and tracking every coffee purchase. It means spending 1 hour, just one, looking at the last 2 months of your bank and card statements and categorizing what you find. Most people are shocked by what they discover. Not because they're doing anything dramatically wrong, but because small recurring expenses, $15 here, $25 there, accumulate invisibly. And that invisible spending is what prevents people from ever having anything left to invest. Awareness alone changes behavior. You don't need a perfect budget. You need an honest picture. Move 3. Eliminate high-interest debt. If you're carrying credit card debt in your 20s, it is mathematically impossible to build wealth at the same time. Not difficult. Impossible. Here's the simple reason. Credit card interest rates often run between 20 and 30% annually. The stock market has historically returned around 10% per year on average. You cannot outinvest a 25% interest rate. Every dollar you put into an investment while carrying that debt is losing ground. Paying off high-interest debt is not the boring option. It is the highest guaranteed return available to you. Because the moment that debt is gone, every dollar you are sending to interest becomes a dollar you control. That shift, from paying interest to building assets, is one of the most powerful financial turning points in your 20s. Move 4. Start investing. Even if the amount feels embarrassing. This is where most people stall. They wait until they have a real amount to invest. Until they understand the market better. Until things calm down a little financially. And the waiting is exactly what costs them. Here's what the math actually shows. Someone who starts investing at 22 and stops at 30 will often end up with more money at retirement than someone who starts at 30 and invests consistently for decades. That is the compounding effect in action. Time matters more than amount. So the move is simple. Open a tax-advantaged account if you haven't already. Pick one broad, low-cost index fund, a total market fund, or an S&P 500 fund, and invest something, even if that something is $50 a month. The amount is almost irrelevant right now. The habit is everything. Because the person who invests $50 a month at 24 is a completely different person financially by 30 than the one who planned to start investing once things settle down. Move 5. Start building income that doesn't depend on one source. This is the move most financial advice skips, and it might be the most important one. In your 20s, your income is your most powerful financial asset. Not your savings, not your investments, your ability to earn. And the biggest risk to that asset is having only one version of it. A job is not security. A job is one relationship with one employer that can change for reasons completely outside your control. Building even a small secondary income, freelancing, a skill you monetize occasionally, something that generates a few $100s a month outside your main job, changes your entire financial position. It reduces vulnerability. It accelerates savings. And it teaches you something about money that no book can fully explain. That income is something you can actively grow, not just something that happens to you once a month. You don't need a full business. You need a start. One skill. One client. One additional stream that proves to you it's possible. Here's the simple version of everything above. Build a buffer so emergencies don't destroy your progress. Get honest about where your money actually goes. Eliminate high-interest debt before it quietly wins. Start investing now with whatever you have. And build income that doesn't depend entirely on one source. None of these are complicated, but together, they create something most people never build in their 20s. Momentum. And once you have financial momentum, it compounds just like money does. Your 30s will arrive either way. The only question is what position you're in when they do. If this helped, hit subscribe and comment below. Which of these 5 moves do you still need to make? Because knowing the answer to that question is actually the first step.